Oh, a really good experience. I didn't come here thinking it was easy, and it's not. I'll tell you, it's hard, physically, mentally, but amazing experience, and it's a taste of what the next level is for sure.
What are some of the biggest things you've learned? I know it's only 2 days in, but what are some of the biggest things you've learned in your experience so far?
Well, just the amount of effort it takes to be a pro, and also more on the technical side. I've been learning a lot from the goalie coach and development guy and Belleville goalie coach as well, and it's a great experience for that as well.
What can you take away from this experience and translate to your junior season next year?
The shots here are coming a lot quicker. The speed is better, and I think it means that when I go back junior, it's going to be a bit more slow motion, and I'm going to be able to kind of be ahead of the play more.
Have you set any personal goals for yourself for next season?
Yeah, my personal goal would be to be the best goalie in the queue. Might sound a little overconfident, but I think I'm able to, and we'll see.
What are the areas of your own game that you want to improve on next season to be that?
Yeah, so I think it'd be my edges. I think I'm a decent skater, but to dominate even more in the queue or be ready for the next level, I need to be an elite skater. Especially, I'm not the tallest goalie, so that would be my goal.
Carey Price is your idol. If there was one thing you could take from his arsenal of skill sets as a goalie, what would you take?
Just his swagger and his confidence. He was always calm in his net, and he had a swagger that made it so his teammates always played better in front of him. And he didn't have the best team in front of him, and he was just able to stay confident and elevate his teammates.
What have you maybe learned from guys like Kevin and Nikitin as well, who you spent some time with, only a couple of days, but what have you maybe picked up from them so far?
They're really great guys. I've been talking to them a lot. Parsons as well, and yeah, they're older than me. They have more experience, so they'll give me tips here and there on training or meeting, stuff like that. It's just I couldn't tell you something specific really, but they've been really helping me out here.
En français, je vais peut-être te faire répéter beaucoup de choses, mais qu'est-ce qu'en 2 jours on peut apprendre dans un camp pro comme ça? À quel point on apprend?
Ouais, c'est vraiment une belle expérience pour apprendre le niveau de jeu pro. C'est même pas des joueurs vraiment LNH, mais c'est quand même beaucoup plus rapide que junior. Puis ça fait que ça donne un petit goût au pro.
Sens-tu que déjà, tu vas peut-être revenir au camp de recrues, tout ça, mais on sent des fois qu'il y a une réadaptation à faire quand on arrive dans le junior. Penses-tu que tu pourras avoir cette réadaptation à faire?
Ouais, c'est sûr. C'est différents niveaux de jeu. Mais je pense que je vais être capable de me réajuster après 1 ou 2 pratiques. Là. Pas très stressé avec ça.
Sur quoi tu veux travailler à partir de maintenant?
Ouais, dans le fond, moi, je pense qu'il faut que je travaille mon patin, mon coup de patin. Je pense que vu que je suis pas le plus grand gardien, il faut vraiment que je sois un bon patineur, un patineur élite. Puis alors c'est ça mon but pour cet été, puis la saison prochaine aussi.
Beaucoup de gens venaient ici, voulaient voir un gars comme Yakenchuk, Hensler aussi. À quel point ces gars-là, c'est des choix de première ronde, puis ça paraît.
Ouais, c'est vraiment... Ils sont incroyables, solides. Ils rentrent dans le groupe parfait. On a un groupe plus vieux, puis ça apparaît pas qu'ils sont plus jeunes, puis c'est vraiment impressionnant.
Que penses-tu de leur grandeur? Il y a beaucoup de défenseurs ici qui sont 6 pieds ou haut.
Ouais, c'est... Quand je suis arrivé ici après une journée, j'étais genre le plus petit, c'est 6'4" et plus. Mais ouais, ça fait que ça frappe beaucoup, puis ils sont solides, ils ont des bonnes shots, ils sont puissants. Alors c'est vraiment cool.
Tu vas pouvoir donner des conseils à tes coéquipiers à partir de maintenant. Tout le monde rêve d'être ici. Quel conseil tu peux leur donner à ces coéquipiers-là qui veulent atteindre au moins peut-être un camp de développement comme ça?
Ouais, dans le fond, moi, mon mindset pour l'année passée, c'était d'avoir du fun, travailler fort. Puis, je pense que c'est ça le plus important. Puis, c'est ça que je vais dire à mes coéquipiers. Puis aussi, pour les interviews, trucs de même, essaye pas d'être trop robotique. Il faut que tu sois toi-même. Puis, ça fait que tu es plus personnel avec les équipes. Puis, ils sont capables de voir t'es qui comme personne.
So really, just how's camp gone so far? A couple skates in.
Oh, it's been good. It's been a bit tough, and it's fast-paced, and everyone here is a good player, so it's a lot of fun.
Coming in off the year you had, just kind of what's your approach going into camp and the offseason overall?
Just focusing on what I need to work on going into next season, because I did learn a lot in London about what I need to work on in my game, so just moving forward, getting better at those things.
And what does it feel like to be back here with the team and see everyone be back, but also welcome to the
Oh, it feels really good because obviously coming back now, it's a lot of familiar faces coming back and even new faces that I knew before, so it's a lot of fun.
You had a couple of moments in some drills where you were going up against Carter Yakimchuk and Logan Hensler. What did you think of those guys in your one-on-ones against
Oh,
them?
man, it's obvious why the reason those guys win the first round. It's not easy to defend those guys. Just a bunch of skill, and you can tell it's fun what they do, and they're just having fun doing it. So.
How excited are you to play with Logan next year?
Sorry?
How excited are you to play with Logan next year?
Oh, very excited. It's funny, he's younger than me, but he's a vet on my team, so I'm going to have to be listening to him there. But it's going to be fun. He's been showing me around a bit, so excited for that.
They used to joke that North Dakota was the Senators' farm team. Now it's Wisconsin. Like, how do you feel about having all those guys with you?
It feels good. I mean, because potentially those could be my teammates in college, and moving forward, they'll be my teammates in pro, so that's fun.
Could you have scripted the way your year went any better than it did?
I don't know if you can. I mean, winning a Memorial Cup is pretty special, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You don't know what you do for an encore, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What are some things, you did mention the fact that there are some things you do want to work on. Can you go into more detail about what those things are?
Mainly just using my speed with my size better. I feel like a lot of points, I could skate around fast, but I feel like I'm not using my frame as much as I can, so just filling out and being better at that.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun here. Got to meet a lot of good guys. Got to meet the staff. It's been great.
What's the energy been like out there for you?
It's been a ton of fun. I think the guys are all jacked up to be here. It's good intensity during practice and everything, so that's why it's been so fun.
Has it met your expectations, exceeding expectations?
I would say it's exceeding. It's been a lot more fun than I thought it'd be here, but yeah, I'm excited.
We see you and we think about your dad. How do you want to write your own story from now?
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot from my dad, and he's definitely taught me a lot growing up, so just taking little things from him, then applying that into my game, I'll be able to, pave my own path.
Do you have some similarities with him?
Yeah, I would say just kind of like that in the front mentality, tipping pucks. He's taught me, like I said, growing up, and I've definitely taken that from him.
How has he maybe mentored you over the years, like coming up in the game? Like, how much do you guys talk about hockey, kind of interact?
Yeah, we talk a ton. Like he's played a long career in the NHL, so kind of just, he's always guiding me through that path that he took as well, and just giving me tips along the way.
Has it been a whirlwind few days for you?
It's definitely super exciting to get drafted and everything. So yeah, I would say so.
How was the concert?
Yeah, no, it was a ton of fun. I was with a bunch of my buddies, and I got drafted before the concert with them, and they're all pumped up. And then we got to go kind of celebrate with the concert.
How do you see the next season in the WHL, and why do you take this bet?
I think that Wenatchee gave me a good opportunity there, so I'm super excited to go down there. And a lot of Minnesota guys are heading down to Wenatchee as well. I think there's about 5 or 6 other guys, so I think that kind of makes it a lot more comfortable going down there.
How will you spend your summer now?
I'm usually just a lot of training, just in the morning, at the gym, at the rink, and I'll golf in the afternoons.
You spoke about your big frame and kind of wanting to develop into that. Just what guidance have you gotten maybe from the guys on the ice so far to try and maximize your ability in the offseason?
Yeah, everything I gained from these practices I'm going to take into the summer. I think it's kind of just been keep moving your feet. When I'm moving around, I think I can play with everyone, and I think that's kind of the big thing in my game is just keep moving around.
So firstly, just how's camp gone so far? A couple skates here for you and the guys. Just how's it gone so far?
It's good. It happens quick. The guys get in, and the first day's a lot of medicals and a lot of physical stuff. So to get on the ice yesterday and sort of shake the rust off, and the first 10 minutes, the boys are oftentimes missing passes and things, trying to get themselves acclimatized. So to get that first one out of the way yesterday was good, and then I thought today they were ready to compete, ready to get in the corners a little bit more.
It's a little bit of a different one today. This year, that is only a few days, a couple of skates. Just kind of what difference is that for you guys, the coaching staff, in getting things ready for the drills that are going on out there?
Well, this year the objective was to take things. We're shrinking the camp a little bit, but the objective was to make it more personalized. So a lot of the stuff we're doing off ice and in the gym, the seminars and things that are being spoken about, they're more player specific. So it's not just trying to do as much as we can over a 5-7 day camp and getting monotonous. It's find something specific, make it tailored to you, and then you can take something actionable with you when you go home. So the ice sessions were more just to play, get out there, throw a couple concepts at the boys, but for the most part it was it's going to be about what's happening off the ice more than what's on.
And for you personally as well, kind of the scouting side of it, but also the training side, how do you kind of manage that when you're on the ice with these guys? Are you kind of analyzing and also doing the coaching, but how do you kind of manage that on the ice?
Yeah, well, the scouts want me to send a report on everybody from camp, so I'm trying to pay attention as best I can. Everyone wants to know how their guys are doing. So I'm trying to pay attention, but trying to remember to blow the whistle at the same time. But no, it's fun for me where, trying to straddle that line of, being scouting and in development. I want to see how the guys are doing, but now I'm also partly responsible for how they're going to develop and play for us later. So to see how they progress and just see not all the guys I saw during the winter, so I'm getting my first eyes on them now. And so I'm really enjoying that side of it, being able to hear how the guys have talked about these players all winter. Now seeing them and meeting them and getting to know the personalities is it's a unique opportunity for me.
What are the, oh, you go ahead.
I guess on that note as well, just kind of how important is it to kind of have those personal conversations that you've had on the ice with the guys, like them asking you questions and you giving them a response? Just how important is that, I guess, overall?
I mean, for my short experience and what I've spent a lot of time trying to pick brains of other guys who've done it longer than I have, and the biggest thing is the personal side, where these guys are going to their club teams all winter long. We have our hands on them for X amount of days during the season, and it's more about building that relationship where they can talk to you and they can come to you and they can just see how things are feeling and do some video and be able to understand that we're there to try to make them better as best we can. As much as we work for the team, we work for the players trying to get better. And so it's building that trust and letting them know that we're on their side. Hell or high water, we want to make sure that they know that we've got their back. And camp like this, only 2 or 3 days, but you can do a lot of good social stuff between that time.
One of the most noticeable things about the players you have at this camp is the size, particularly at the back end. Like, there's no one below 6 feet on defense here. Is that by design?
Yes and no. I mean, if you look at all the teams that have won over the last handful of years, the back ends are big and long and can play physical, can move the puck, but they all have the similar characteristics. And so I think if you look league-wide, there was not a single player drafted this year, a defender under 6 feet. So, I mean, it's not just us. The way the draft went last year was kind of funny, but that wasn't by design. We knew the type of player we wanted to get, but we just picked the next best player in line. And so it's not exactly like we're looking for a guy above 6'4" every time, but just that's the way it fell on our list, and so we'll take it because I think in the long run, if you want to compete with the teams like Florida and Vegas and Colorado, the teams that have been winning lately, those are the teams that have the big back ends.
So do you think that's a trend that's just going to continue for years to come? I mean, not only do we see a year where no defense under 6 feet were taken this year, it seems, I saw someone online compile it, but that number's been trending downward for the last how many years?
I think everything in the game is cyclical, really, where, for a few years when Colorado was coming up, there was a lot of smaller, faster guys, and the speed of the game was picking up, and the average age of the league was going down. Guys are getting younger and faster and more skilled, and now we're sort of straddling back into a middle ground where you got to be fast and skilled, but you also have to be able to win those battles in the corners. And over a 7-game series, the big boys seem to not wear out as fast, and so that's something that the league, I think, is taking notice of as a whole. Us as an organization, we're trying to build a team in the future that can play the style of game that the league requires. And right now, that's a big, heavy, skilled game, and that's what we're trying to do.
What were your impressions of Logan Hensler these last 2 days?
He's good. I think, like I said yesterday, some of the early touches were a little uncomfortable, and Sam's stuff was a little bit particular, which is what we want. We had a couple concepts we wanted guys to start thinking about. So the first few touches, everyone's a little bit nervous. But today, when you see you throw a puck in the corner, he's able to handle himself against big boys. He's able to make plays out of the corners in tight spaces. When I saw him in the winter, that was one of the things I liked, is he could take a puck in the corner in his D zone, and he could do what he wanted with it. Just a matter of time. He can put a guy on his back. He can make a play. He's got the vision and the skill set to do it. So what I saw there was an extension of what we believed he was. He's going to be a good player.
What do you think about his offensive potential? What is there still left for him to unlock in that side of his game?
Lots. I mean, people talk about the NCAA and guys coming drafted out of there, but that's a hard league. There's men in that league. They're playing as 24-year-old guys. And so for a freshman to come in and even just log the minutes he did was impressive. Offensively, it's a hard league to score. It's a very high-energy game. It's a very defensive, structured game. Coaches are spending all week plotting defenses against an opponent they're playing twice in a row. So it's not like you're just going to go in there and play based on whatever you see in front of you. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it. So he's going to take a bigger role offensively this year, both what Wisconsin expects of him and what we expect of him. But I think the potential is there. The skill set's there. It's a matter of just being able to unlock a little bit more mentally, making sure he's able to make mistakes offensively and get back on the ice again. And that's the kind of situation we're seeing him in now.
What have you thought of Carter Yakimchuk's progression the past year from maybe last year at Deb Camp to now?
I mean, I've seen it being spoken about before, but a lot of the areas that we wanted Yak's game to evolve doesn't show up on the score sheet. And so, I mean, people might judge that one way or the other, but we saw his game progress both from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint in the direction we want. When the puck's on Yak's stick, there's no question what he can do, and I think that's always going to be his strength. So we were trying to just shore up the other areas of his game and make sure he's able to compete in the corners defensively, off the rush, improve his feet, and just gap control, things like that, where he's going to have to face some pretty quick guys at the next level. And we think he's more ready for that now than he was a year ago. But he's still a young guy, and learning defense in this league takes time. So we're not, expecting him to be in the All-Star game this year, but we just expect him to keep progressing, and when his time's right, we'll make sure he's in the right position.
You mentioned developing specific programs for each guy that they can take with them. Are they that wildly divergent, and does that uniqueness help you build relationships with the individual player?
Well, it's a big part of it. Where it could be a very long-winded answer here. I'll try to condense it, but you want to just take a thing or two from this camp. We're not going to be able to say, okay, over the next 12 months, here's every single thing you're going to do to get better. But we're making sure if a guy needs a little bit more work in the gym, so these are 3-4 exercises. We want you to do these twice a week. Make sure we're building up this core strength that's going to help you extend your stride. Or if your guy needs to put on weight, there's some nutritional information that we're going to get into your hands so you can have better pregame, postgame, day off meals, have a plan for you. Recovery stuff. If you have a hot tub and a cold tub and a sauna at your facility, how can you best use that to give yourself an advantage recovery-wise moving forward? So it's about little things that can make a 5 to 10% difference over the course of a 50, 60, 70 game season. So as a whole, when you talk about development, you want to draft players and put them into good situations where the coaches that they have and the situations that they're in all season are going to do a lot of the development for us. But we're just trying to shore up the edges and make sure that there's a way that the player can invest in their own development and take things from here. We give them that opportunity and those resources.
We know that it'll be a couple months before training camp, and obviously wherever Carter Yakimchuk plays, that's on him. But it seems it's looking likely he might end up in the AHL to start off the year. How excited would you be at the prospect of just seeing him get to play pro minutes, even if it's at the AHL level?
I mean, it's all part of that development. He's a high pick that we have very high expectations for, and like we say, we have to make sure that he's mentally ready for the road that he's about to go on. Not everybody steps in and plays 20 minutes in the NHL right away, especially in his position. So, whether he starts in the American League or whether he starts up, like last year, his training camp was pretty impressive. If he does the same thing, I think he'll make a hard decision for the guys in management. But no matter where he is, we know the direction he's going, and we know where he wants him to end up. It's just a matter of bracing him for the road it's going to take. Talk to some of the guys at the scouting meetings, and they say that there's levels to your progression in the NHL where you might be able to play at an elite level like he was in training camp for 5, 10, 20 games. But then once you're at game 30, game 40, and you're still playing every other night, it's hard. And so we don't want a guy to start going up and up and up and then crash. We'd rather put him in a place where he's going to continue to succeed. And so whether that's here or whether that's in Belleville, it's for people in the front office, I suppose. But we just want to make sure he's in a place where he's going to get minutes, continue to grow, and that he's able to mentally prepare for the long road, not just trying to succeed in one season.